Say hey, makes a day.
Stream Elements says, Scorpwana is now live. Streaming Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online, Lone Wolf Again, March 26th, 2023.
Why do they make it so complicated to blur a portion of your screen in this software?
Ask Avril Lavigne. Why'd they have to go and make things so complicated? See the way you're acting like a somebody world. They made frog legs this evening and breaded the hell out of them, so you don't get much.
They made frog legs and breaded the hell out of them and what?
So you don't get much. You know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. When I reached in, like, I guess they fried some crawfish legs or some shit, and that's what this is, and it looks so big, and I was thinking, wow, this is big, and then like, you look inside, and it's like an inch of padding and bullshit. Complete misdirection.
So stupid that I have to put the same scene twice and pixelate the second scene to get it to do what I want instead of just having a blur filter.
Do you have to like overlay the same damn thing over it then?
Yep, and then
sucks ass.
Crop the portion I wanted to do and then set the resolution to like super small so the text becomes unreadable.
Things you do for people.
So, game, copy, new, screen capture, add source, put it on top of the game. Properties. Show additional settings. No, that's not it. Where was that? No.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Back to your station. The bots have returned. Enemy
target
That grayscale, that's funny. Sepia tone. Dramatic.
Dramatic.
Flashback. Inverted. Action movie. Hearth. None.
The cinematic debut of that.
Image, mask, / blend. I don't get how to set the aspect ratio on this. That doesn't show me what I want. That doesn't show me what I want. What I really, really want.
Aspect. You wanna really, really, really wanna stick a zig? You want my future? Forget my past. You wanna get with me? Better make it fast. Now don't be wasting my precious time.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so
Put your act together, we can be just fine.
let's do 1 pixel by 1 pixel. Haha, that doesn't work.
Life is one big party when it's still young. Who's gonna have you back when it's older?
Scale filtering blending mode. Blending method. Hide, remove, rename filters property. Projector. Did they like remove that or some shit? I don't get it.
So there's not a way to make like a semi-transparent like frame to just put there that naturally blurs? Say like...
No, they had a plugin for OBS Studio, but the plugin hasn't been updated, so it doesn't work anymore with current OBS Studio.
Oh yeah, they completely like rehashed a lot of OBS since like, what is it, 28 or something?
Yeah, you would think maybe Streamlabs Desktop has something like that. If it does, you probably got to pay for it though, but the method people say to do it is to capture the same exact thing you want to capture, that you want to blur, then set the capture resolution to the smallest you could set it, and then stretch it out, and then crop it.
So it naturally...
Crop the area you want to...
Yeah, so it naturally
looks all...
pixelates itself, yeah.
Yeah. But I can't set the real... I'm trying to figure out how to set the resolution. All the tutorials they have seem to be an old version of OBS, or not OBS, Streamlabs. So I'm not finding the settings specifically.
Is it like you have to run 2 versions at once and capture from the other version and overlay that while you're doing it or some shit?
No, you create duplicate video sources in the same instance. One of them native to your screen, another one with a different resolution set.
That sounds complicated.
Streamlabs blur chat. I mean, it sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's just
the way they make the way they have it makes it sound complicated when it should be just a simple little thing, like you're saying in the plugin. It's like layering a game on top of itself just so you can have one little thing you want. You're like, yeah, I did it. Then, like, when you figure it out and you have it the way you want it, there's somebody's going to come out with something that completely overdoes that or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I see what happened. The developer of StreamFX plugin has removed the installer's exe/binaries from GitHub and are now behind a paywall. So the dude's fucking charging people to blur their screen.
That is sad. That is sad. And there's probably people out there like loading him down with cash too for it.
Yeah, everyone wants to get paid, which I mean, I guess I get it, but fucking dumb.
Ugh. Damn it! I clicked on the button. Well, why don't you program your own plugin? Damn it. Battle zone. What was that
Okay.
video thing? GIMP or something like that on Linux?
Yes, it's like GIMP is. Well, I think GIMP was like Photoshop for Linux.
It was something along those lines that could manipulate images or video on the fly and then kind of broadcast it back. And I can't remember exactly what that was. I don't know. That was years ago, though. Like you can do stuff to it.
Game dash blur or yeah, whatever. Semantic. No, I don't want it to duplicate it like that.
Why'd you have to go and make a thing so complicated?
Alright, track. Get rid of that. Rename this. Rename it to game ffxiv dash normal. Okay? Done. Then create a new source. That is a screen capture. Add source. Add new source. Game dash ffxiv dash pixel. Okay. Capture the same thing again. Done. Put it above normal so it acts as a mask. Filters. Edit filters. Add filter. Scaling aspect ratio. Add. Point. 640 by 360. Close.
Too bad you can't just throw in your own masking image, you know, from something and just adjust it. So you're making me want to get involved in what the hell you're doing. Stop
Don't
it,
do
damn
that.
it.
You gotta stream your own game, maybe after. I've pretty much got it figured out now. I just gotta...
You're making me want to find alternative methods into what you're doing. I'm a copycat player.
Is it alt? I think he said it was alt.
Alt F-U-C-K. Apparently there are some Captain Kirk books out there that William Shatner wrote for Star Trek that I didn't know nothing about. But in that, he has something called the Phoenix Project that brings Kirk back to life or some shit after he died. And he does stuff or something. I don't know. I didn't read much into it. I just saw fan theories on YouTube before I went to work. And according to, like, the only image we got off of Picard when we saw James T. Kirk's body or something, it said Project Phoenix in the text that was below his name. So people were all excited that it canonizes William Shatner's books about Kirk. That, oh, it's possible that at the end of Picard, Kirk will come back and we can see both of them on screen again together. Respawn.
Okay, I'll give them some credit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was talking about the masking thing I was doing.
It's kind of cool.
Well, now I got my chat blurred, pixelated.
You didn't want people to see your chat?
Yeah, just in case. Because I'm a part of a guild on Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, and you didn't want where the chat is on the screen to show in the screen.
Yeah, I want to be able to see my chat. I just don't want other people to be able to read my chat. So I've pixelated it so people can't read it.
Ah. Versus
just...
the internet
kind of...
Putting a black bar over it or something else, or
Yeah, I want to try and make it pretty.
make it pretty. You gonna try to make it pretty, are you?
I want to make it pretty by making chat ugly, not just having a big ugly
Yeah.
black box over it. Because yeah, I could have easily done the black box thing, but
You had to
The
make it
Pod
complicated.
Fortress has engaged transport.
yeah,
Troops
and
inbound.
now it's done.
Now it's done. That's awesome. Leaps and bounds. And how long have you been trying to get that working?
Oh, not long.
Damn.
Honestly, I mean, the longest thing I figured out how to get working was trying to get Voicemeeter and virtual audio cable set up again, and then I discovered that I don't have to do that shit. I could literally import the sound sources from software individually and disable desktop audio and just play the audio I want played.
Cool. Sweet. I think maybe you could do that with the other one.
Yeah, you can. I went back to it since the plugin issue on OBS Studio
Huh.
was
I just don't, I guess, for some reason.
Yeah, it's really simple. If you just click sources at the very bottom, there's what is it called?
There's a mixer there.
At the very, not the very, very bottom, but is it general?
$1.
Where the fuck did it go? I'm going crazy.
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. So under general sources, second to last is application audio capture beta.
Where are you looking at that? Streamlabs desktop?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You click the plus. Now you might, if you haven't, it depends what version you're using. Are you using 1.12.5?
Yes.
Then, yeah, you just click plus.
Next to sources?
Yep, on sources, you scroll down under general sources. It's the second to last option for me. It's called application audio capture beta. And then you click that, click add source. You select the file or program. So like,
Oh, that's pretty cool. Capture
Yeah,
audio
there's-
coming from a specific application. Beta version.
yeah.
I wonder if they
And I have
stole that
Discord.
information from OBS.
So I have Discord popped in there. And what I did was I muted the desktop
Audio.
audio.
Yeah. So you can just play the
And
whenever
then-
you want.
Yeah, then I have Final Fantasy 14 manually put in there to Discord. And yeah, if I want to listen to copyrighted music while playing a game, I can listen to it and
That's
no one
awesome.
else has to hear it.
That's awesome. You play a totally different music that's allowed,
Yep.
and then be humming to a different one, and people think you're crazy.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, the last time I streamed, seriously, like 5 years ago, they didn't have that shit. I had to go through that grueling process of
Using a different program or plugins. and shit.
using Voicemeeter, and then with virtual audio cables, it would only work with software that allowed you to select audio devices, which is few and far between.
Ah. Sweet. I don't know that I'll probably end up using something like that because I don't like change. Where do we need to go, Mikey? We'll go north. Or this way. City? Shitty. No. New instance. Cause why not?
Cause, Junior. Oh my gosh, Scorpwana, we missed you. Here's 5 days off.
Before I went to work today, my mom busted in my room and said, "Hey, some people you used to work with the other Dollar General years ago, whatever, said that they're at your current Dollar General and they want to say hi to you. Are you leaving yet?" It's like, no. He goes, "Oh well, I don't know how long they're going to be there." I'm like, Okay.
Good for them.
Yeah. Like, all right. Well, all right. She goes, well,
I'll be at work.
I thought maybe you'd go up there a little earlier, you know, just to say hi to him before you clock in. It's like, huh? Okay. Well, I guess if you want me to or something. Just shuts my door. Then I go up there like 5 minutes before I gotta clock in, and I see him, and I'd say, hey, what's up? What's going on? You know, and they tell me what they've been doing since they left the company like 7 years ago or something, and just wanted to say hello since they were coming through. It's like, all right, well, hello.
Hello, and I'll get back to forgetting about who you were in 2 seconds after.
Yeah. Like, I haven't talked in so many years. Okay, hey, how you doing? Yeah, awkward. Okay. And of course, me talking to them and just like about stories of past events or something, that my current manager and assistant were feeling kind of left out, so they went outside to smoke, and then they left. So without talking to me really much about anything. But then again, that's kind of normal. Like, I'm gonna get excited over shit. I mean, people always like, you should come visit or something. Like, people that I've worked with before, I'm like, I never visited you when we worked together, so why would I come now?
I don't get that mentality, man. People need to learn. Work is work. Like, I come to work, and if you're cool enough to be my friend, then sure, I'll plan something outside of work, but other than that, keep work at work, you know?
Yeah. You know? And I'm not much of a go-outer person, or whatever you call it. Introvert. Caveman. And I'm not going like, okay, well, we're off work. What do you want to do now? Let's go to my house. No.
I'm gonna go home and play Minecraft. Can I play with you? No.
No.
I'm gonna play by myself.
Well, I'm gonna play online with other people by myself.
That movie was weird.
The Whale?
Yeah.
What do you see that why he may have gotten that Oscar and all that shit?
Well, I mean, I get why he won the Oscar. I thought his performance and portrayal of somebody who suffers from an eating disorder was properly portrayed, and he did a really good job doing it. And the ending scene was really good, but it doesn't stop the movie itself from being weird in general.
Yeah, he had a bunch of things happen. Like that delivery guy. He's like, my name's whatever. Okay. I'm so and so. Okay.
$20 in the mailbox. Pizza in the chair. And then, like, after his 3rd visit, I'm just gonna stand here and see who you are, and then get freaked out when I see that you're an obese individual.
Like whenever he sent his students that message of like, fuck, whatever.
You know what? Fuck all this shit. Just give me something. Tell me something real, and then they all bitch and complain. Okay, you get what you want. Somebody's gonna replace me that it's gonna be super boring and tell you what they want to hear, and yeah, but
you have the like Christian-y guy or whatever it is that ran off and took the money kind of thing, and I still don't understand what the hell he was doing.
Exactly, like I said, the movie's fucking weird.
The girls taking pictures and putting them on Facebook.
Well, because your daughter took a video recording of me talking about how I'm a thief. Now my parents love me and just want me to come back home.
Yeah, like, what?
But I'm going to teach you about God one last time. I don't want to hear about your damn God. Am I disgusting? Yes, you're disgusting. Okay, get the fuck out of here. You're
I
done.
like the way it started.
Yeah, that was
That was kind of weird.
That was the scene. Yeah. Him just
Read me
sitting
that
there
poem.
watching a.
It calms me down.
I'm gonna sit here and get myself heart attack. Oh God. Here, read this. What? Just read this. It's gonna keep me alive for like one more week.
The poem that kept him alive. It took me the longest time to figure out what the hell like happened and all that kind of stuff, like his life and stuff, you know.
Yeah, he hooked up with a lady, and had a daughter, and was a closeted gay man who came out of the closet and abandoned his family for his gay man, and then had a happy marriage. He had a happy marriage with his gay man, but his gay man was suffering from I'm guessing, some kind of mental disorder himself, whether it was anxiety, depression, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out. Like, was it?
I remember they mentioned something about him jumping off a bridge or trying to jump off a bridge, but he didn't follow through,
Yeah,
and
then they found him like water or some shit, or shore or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe like he had some sort of other sickness, like and he was dying and just killed himself or something. I couldn't. That's the part I couldn't figure out.
Left kind of open, but then from what I understood, dude was already kind of big, as it were, but when he lost his boyfriend or whatever, he just kind of went down this binging food, whatchamacallit, and the only thing that was keeping him alive was his daughter.
Yeah, her and all that money he had like saved up for her and stuff. She's like, money you could have used to go to the hospital, get you some medical insurance.
We could have. It was like, what the fuck, dude? My car was broken down, and I walked in the snow uphill both ways to come take care of your ass. Well, I offered money. I offered you money to fix your truck, yeah, and you told me, it's like I only thought you had $700 fucking dollars. Well, it was for my daughter. It's always been for my daughter.
For her dear daughter. When do you think at the end of that he actually died? Was he actually walking around, or did he die on the couch and just imagine or dream or hallucinate walking toward her and then lifting up in the air?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. He was... Because the whole point of the movie, at least to me, was that he sees the good in everyone. But people in his life are kind of like an asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because he was so disconnected for his daughter for so long, you know. And then his ex-wife gave him her like research paper on Moby Dick. He became so infatuated with the idea of that paper, so he thought his daughter was something she wasn't. Like, she was just going to be this great, amazing person because of this fucking paper she wrote like 4 years ago.
And the birds she killed outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bird he kept feeding every day.
Yeah, I think he was just delusional about his daughter, and she's just straight up like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what happened was, in response to what you're saying, I think that last time she stopped in front of the door, in reality she probably continued to walk out, but in his mind she stopped, and that's probably the point in which he was dying, actually dying.
Yeah.
So he hallucinated her staying and reading the poem because he obviously had the poem, not the poem, but the paper memorized in his head. So he could imagine her reading the paper out loud, and then...
I think it's like there's a change in lighting around that time. Like, even though the doors opened, but there's like a whole lot of light that starts coming in eventually.
Right.
And it brightens everything up. And that's whenever you see him struggling to get up and then walking in, thinking he's got to be dead, like you know, not really doing this, but thinking he is, and like on his way out. Yeah.
It's funny because when he was walking out, everything was so dramatic. Like every footstep you could hear, like boom.
I'm doing this. I'm walking. Man, he ate 2 large pizzas every night.
2 large pizzas.
2 like sub sandwiches or something like that.
Sub sandwich, a bucket of chicken.
Bucket of chicken, chip sandwich. That's a lot.
Fucking bottle of ranch.
Gay porn.
And then for dessert, vomiting in the trash can.
Vomiting in the trash can. That's right. Gay porn. That was just so awkward. Hey, no, stay. You want me to call the ambulance? No!
The door's unlocked. Come in. Oh my god. Who are you? Told me to come in, sir.
Yeah. You left your key. What key? It's a lot they did with that one little place, though. That one apartment, you know. That was his life. I mean, I totally get, like, being isolated like that, because I do it to myself all the time. I don't go anywhere.
Right.
I don't do anything. Unless I'm going to work, I don't go anywhere. I don't do a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
A damn thing. And it's a depression thing. It's also being lazy.
Too many tornadoes.
Too many tornadoes, that's right. Well, you know, in there, he's super depressed and stuff like that because of that reason, so, yeah.
Yeah. Super depressed.
Was he like was he a high school teacher or a college professor dude or something?
I think it was college, yeah. He probably worked at an actual facility, and then his boyfriend died, and he shut himself in. He basically worked from home, teaching and helping English students with their work or whatever.
Yeah. I just didn't know, like, exactly what that kind of was or something, because, yeah. He taught the English.
Yeah.
He speak English.
He speak English.
Speak English. Well, he had it made whenever that wheelchair thing came around, you know.
He sure did.
Yeah, he loved that shit. It's like, where'd it come from? Well, it was for a patient that ordered it, but you're like,
he died.
He died. Yeah. So it's a dead man's wheelchair for a man dying. Nice. And what's her name? She was like, I guess, dude's sister. And she just hung around her brother's boyfriend for, I guess, afterward, and just stuck with him.
That's right.
Clipping his toenails and shopping and
resting on his shoulder because he's a big comfy pillow. And...
yeah. Well, she knows he's not gonna like do anything, you know, to her, because he's not into that.
Unless he's trying to have a kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if he wants to have a kid. Yeah, I was kind of surprised whenever I saw that was Stranger Things girl or whatever like that was in there. Because I didn't look at the like cast or anything like that, except for Brendan Fraser. Fraser. Brendan Fraser. Brendan.
Yep.
Fraser. Rhymes with razor.
Don't say his name wrong or he might get upset.
That's right. He had like a video about that.
He sure did.
Words he hates when people say wrong or something like that.
His name's not Brandon or Fraser. It's Fraser.
That's right. It's not Fraser Crane. Have you seen the I don't know. You probably weren't watching Frasier when it was on, right? Or know anything about like really what the hell happened?
I have never seen a single episode of Frasier.
Okay, well, what about Cheers?
I've seen every single episode of Cheers.
Okay. Well, it's Frasier's pretty much the same thing because it's created by the same person that made Cheers.
Right.
Well, they have like this reunion thing happening where they're gonna have like the characters come back, but it doesn't seem like a sitcom format in the trailer. So it makes it almost look like it's fake, but it's them playing their parts. It doesn't make sense because it was mostly the
Frasier parts, right?
Yeah, it's Frasier. Yeah,
I was complaining about that when it was announced because I heard they're rebooting or doing a Frasier special or whatever, and I was like, they should just do a Cheers special.
Yeah. Woody behind
instead of just like
well, how many of the characters or people are still alive?
I imagine most of them, to be honest. I mean,
yeah.
I definitely know Ted Danson and the person who played Frasier, the person who played
Woody, right?
Yeah, Woody's still alive. The Danny DeVito's fucking ex-wife or whatever.
Oh, is she an ex? Really? I thought they were still together.
Well, they were separated or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, Kirstie Alley's not around, so. And whatever.
Yeah, but isn't the other one still around though? The one he ultimately hooked up with.
I can't remember.
Is her name? What is it? Shelley? Is that Shelley Long?
That sounds familiar. Yeah. Because she was like in an episode of Superman and Lois. Or Lois and Superman, The New Adventures with Dean Cain.
And then,
about dude Norm and the male guy.
What's his name? Rat. Can't remember their real names, but you have Norm and the male guy. I mean, all those people I think are still around.
What the hell was his name in the show? Damn it.
I don't remember.
Shit. Yeah, I love watching that. No, and Peter. No. Come on. Let's go. Yeah, they could totally do that. But, see, Frasier, the show was like kind of set in the same format where his house was like the bar, where people kept coming. And his dad was like a wounded cop that just had a limp and sat in his chair all day or whatever. And they had a smart dog on there that could do stuff named Eddie. And Niles was Frasier's brother that was just like him. They were both like in not hypnotherapy, but a therapist type thing. But Frasier had a radio talk show, and he would try to help people on like calling in callers and things like that, and little shenanigans here and there, and wordplay because he had divorced his wife who was on Cheers, even though she's on the show too, and their son and stuff. So it was mostly just a bunch of like word talking, weird shenanigan type shit and things he would be in, like how did I get in this situation type stuff. And for them to have a trailer out that looks like it's like a thriller murder mystery type thing, it's weird. So I don't know. That's what it just looks like when I watch the trailer. From what I remember, I don't know if it was a fan creation, but it had everybody speaking. But now they have AI, so they can probably do so. That's probably what it was. I don't know, but yeah, it was weird.
That's probably what it was, because I don't think I've heard anything official, like an official trailer or anything. I remember, all I know is that they said the person who played his brother wasn't looking to come back, and some other stuff, and that's when I was talking about, well, they should just do a Cheers reboot instead, because
Cheers is filmed before a live studio audience.
If a lot of the core members of Frasier aren't willing to come back, then what's the point of doing the show?
Right. And Frasier was set in Seattle versus Cheers was like Boston, right?
Yep.
So that's the thing too. You'd have to have a reason for Frasier to go back, but he never really stuck around the bar though. He kind of like just came in, said some shit, whatever, talked with his wife, and then left.
Yep.
Yeah. Woody was
tried
the
to hook
star.
up with
He was the dumb star. What a name too. Go by Woody. Well, his real name. No. I think the guy that plays Norm lives in Chicago. With Mr. T. They live in an apartment together. It's a sitcom in itself. No, I'm kidding.
Hitler and Cosby.
Hitler and Cosby. The Cosby Show was filmed in Germany. Heil, Heil. How you doing that, Bill? How you doing? How you doing?
No, not much, sir. I'm just going to the bar to meet up with some ladies. Forgot my pills.
I know, if you want to come with me, we can go partying together. I don't know what you just said, but that sounds like a yes to me. The swingers. They could totally have like a Family Guy thing about that. I just see that kind of drawing in my head with those two.
What was that dude's name? No. There he is. Ah, it was close. It wasn't Ratfucker. It was John Ratzenberger. Played Cliff Clavin.
Cliff. Okay, yeah. He was always around the bar, talking about all kinds of things.
Rhea Perlman, George Wendt, Woody Harrelson, Ted Danson, Shelley Long.
George Wendt. That's Norm.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer won a Grammy.
Yeah, I literally think everyone from the core cast is still alive except for Kirstie Alley. Shelley Long is still alive.
So
73
they could
years old.
have Cheers, but they could call it something else. Since Star Trek Picard is named Picard and it's based off of TNG, so they can have Cheers, but call it Woody or call it Dan. Was his name Dan on there? I can't remember. Ted Danson's character. He like
Malone.
Yeah.
Sam Malone.
Sam's Cheers version of Sam, where he plays a doctor. And then after Cheers, he became Becker. Becker the Pecker.
Yeah, literally every single person is alive except for Kirstie Alley, and obviously the person who played Coach. He died a long ass time ago.
Yes, let's make it official. Put a
Kate
change.
Mulgrew was in Cheers.
Really?
Yeah. Played a character named Janet Eldridge. Eldridge. Yeah, probably still went off.
Yeah, probably like one of the people that came in, set up at a table, and talked the whole 30 minutes or some shit.
Robert Prosky. That's the name.
It's not as bad as Ernest Borgnine. Ernest.
They need to bring back Richard Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough.
Yeah, he played the dude on Jurassic Park, the park creator. Played Santa Claus in Miracle on 34th Street.
I mean, the old man that's probably dead by
Yep.
now?
Oh yeah, he died. That's why I said they need to bring him back. He died in 2014.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, they can do anything these days.
Yeah.
If they can make a damn dinosaur look real on there, my God, they can make him come back too.
Hell yeah. Spare no expense doing it too.
They can make it out of animatronics too and make it real. Or hell, they can have the Muppets just make a Muppet version of him.
Dig up his corpse, stuff it up,
Oh my God.
attach some strings.
Attach some servos to it and some fishing line to make things move around. Have somebody up there like with the little puppet, the strings and shit like that. Welcome to my new park, buddy. His head would pop around like a Canadian on South Park.
Hey there, buddy.
Previously
your
on
buddy,
Morbid
pal.
Episodes.
I'm not your pal, friend. I'm not your pal, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal.
Boink to boink dunk boink. Boink doink doink to boink doink boink boink. Yeah, that guy was a little too excited about his park on that movie.
Dude just wanted a park, you know?
Every time he said, "Excuse me, I have to go to the restroom," he's jacking off in there. Coming back out. Whew. Okay, where were we? Damn, my park is awesome. Goes back into the bathroom. And they had that, what was Sam Dude, I can't remember his name, that played on there as the guy, hero, Indiana Jonesy type or whatever. He's
Right.
in Event Horizon too, but the way he always looks and he tilts his head is always kind of weird looking. I just imagine like a you know, every time he moves his
the
head.
water not as hot as it should be.
That's a movie I hadn't watched in a while. I think I only watched it once when I was young. Event Horizon.
Sounds about right. Sounds about many times as I watched it when I was younger.
Still don't know. I don't think I was paying attention to it the first time, or the only time I ever watched it. I know they went into space, like something about a black hole, and the dude was like crazy after that or some shit.
That's not the one I'm thinking about then. What movie am I thinking about where they're under the ocean? And there's
Abyss?
like an alien. The Abyss, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's got, what's this Morpheus guy in there? What's his name?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I think it even has him in it too, that dude. Yeah, it was some sort of a water-based organism thing that could do shit.
That's right.
Yatta!
Yatta!
I never knew that's what Chun-Li would always say on Street Fighter when she beat your ass. Yatta! I always thought she said, "Guess not." That game had a way of just making me pissed off. That's how I broke my first SNES controller. Of course, it was, I still have it too. I put it back together with super glue, but,
Alan Grant.
it was clear and it had like turbo buttons and stuff like that, and I think programmable buttons too. You would put it in program mode and then do the motion and then go back and it would remember that last setting. And I was so pissed. I threw that damn controller that day, and it hit the eject button on the Nintendo, and the game inside of it didn't have that protection because some of them had before they came out with the little thing that would go into the cartridge to kind of protect it from being accidentally ejected. I had hit that switch, and Street Fighter didn't have that, so it just popped right out of that thing, and my controller was just pieces. I was like, shit. Shit. Walk off. Yeah, I'll put it back together though. had some fun with it too. I mean, I could like put in Mortal Kombat 2 and then like touch the little leads that were inside of it and make it do all sorts of bullshit, like glitch the game and stuff. It was fun. Because there's something like you would hold both block buttons whenever the game loaded up, and Shao Kahn would come out and go, "You weak, pathetic fool." Kentaro would go, "Roar," and then stomp and goes, "Oh, too easy." And when he did that, I could press those like the little wires inside of there and make him just scroll across the whole screen, and then just start glitching and shit, and then you start playing and there's like glitchy boxes and pixelation all over the place. Oh, he had fun with that. I can still do it too if I felt like digging it out of my closet.
That's right.
I can actually plug in that too, because I have a SNES adapter, USB adapter for a controller. It's so stupid.
Passengers, Deep Cover, Man of Steel. Really? Lawrence Fishburne was in Man of Steel?
Yeah, he's Perry White.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is Perry Black. Lawrence Fishburne was in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Really? I remember watching the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but I don't remember like what each one is and like what actually happens during, like the characters and shit. Because I know Johnny Depp was in one of the movies. I think the first one. I'm not sure. I think he's the waterbed death. I can't be for certain.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne was in a movie called Ant-Man. Interesting.
Ant-Man.
Don't ask him about it, because he sure as hell doesn't remember he was in it.
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, he did a video. He was being interviewed, and someone was like, "Oh, what do you think about the MCU?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I really love what Marvel's doing with those movies. I'd love to be in one of them one day."
And he was in Ant-Man.
Yeah, he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
He didn't remember.
Yeah.
It's
like
movies are that bad.
Gwyneth Paltrow says she never recalled being in Spider-Man 2 or 1. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
But I can kind of see that, because at that point in time, they were probably like gung-ho on wrapping up Phase 3, so they were probably simultaneously recording scenes for like 5 different movies at the same exact time.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
She probably thought she was doing another Marvel movie, but was in Spider-Man.
Like a scene with Peter Parker. Oh, we must be doing Iron Man 4 or some shit. Yeah, he's in this movie.
That, or she thought he was in an Avengers movie, because at that point in the movie where she shows up, Tony was like, "Okay, you've done it. You're a full-fledged Avenger now. Go put on your armor and go talk to the press." And he was like, "Ah, no, I thought about it. I think I'm gonna do the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man thing." And that's when she shows up and is like, "Is that the boy? Is he ready?" He's like, "Oh, no, he changed his mind." And she's like, "But the press is out there. What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll just propose," or some shit like that.
Have you watched the Quantum or whatever it is Ant-Man movie?
No, not yet.
Quantumania.
I want a pretty good-looking version of that movie to watch.
I'm surprised it's just not out yet. Because usually these movies been popping out quick.
Disney does usually 3 months.
You must be doing something resource hungry on your computer right now.
I'm far from my computer.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because you're bleeding in and out of like in a day or two, talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. Today's another day to find ye. Shine away. I'll be coming for you anyway. You know, once you see
OXNYX053 says,
one,
have found the Dyson grind harder or easier with the current event.
have found I'm loading up my chat. Hold on. I haven't been turning it on. So now I am. Getting through Dyson has been more of a challenge, I gotta say.
But I'm not there.
Well,
OXNYX053 says, have you found?
Have I? Oh, it's Ox. Oh, you must be on break. Or either like at a truck stop or something. Broke down? I don't. Have I found? Okay. Well, it's still the same as it always is. I mean, it was a whole lot quicker when Core was here because we were teamed up and could, you know, shoot through the zones and stuff. But with people actively here,
OXNYX053 says, 7 more minutes of break.
7 more minutes of break.
In general, I have been completing Dyson quicker for the most part. But there are instances when there have been more instances where I've gotten no credits, so I have to do extra captures to try and get credits.
Yes. There is that. The more people there is, the less likely it is to get the energy, or no, command credits. But it's just flows the same for me no matter what. When you get used to shit. You just you're like, oh bye. Yeah, I got a command battle zone credit. Nice. Maybe I'll get another one.
Alright, isn't there like a app or something for cell phones that connects to Streamlabs and you could like control scenes through that?
There's supposed to be like a Stream Deck one, I think. I remember, like, I was watching somebody streaming before and they were talking about, or I think maybe it was Murdoch's, because he bought like a Stream Deck's thing himself and was going to stream because he saw me streaming, and I don't think he ever did anything with that because he doesn't stream. But he was talking about something about an app, I think, once. Could have been someone else, I don't know. Virtual Stream Deck. I gotta get me some new shoes. I don't know where to get new shoes.
Probably not Walmart, because all the tornadoes have been taking out Walmart lately.
What's Walmart done to nature?
I think it's the CEO's plan. He came up with a plan. He said that if theft at Walmart doesn't start slowing down, he's going to start shutting down the stores, and I think he's using the Republican weather machine to do that.
Oh.
He's creating tornadoes to take out Walmart.
What do they call that? Damn it. I can't remember the name of it. The initials or something of it. Yeah, the conspiracy theorist nightmare. Weather control. They're also using the earthquake machine.
OXNYX053
HARP.
says,
Yes.
HARP.
HARRP, not
OXNYX053 says, HERP.
I just call it the Republican weather machine because That was the whole conspiracy theory, was that Bush had a weather machine created so he could specifically create hurricanes and then used it to create Hurricane Katrina.
So he can read a book upside down and be a savior for the American people. Cause old Jeb, he was doing his own thing, you see. And then I had a dog. It was in my truck. We went hunting. Like, sir, what does that have to do with the press conference?
OXNYX053 says,
Well, see,
yeah, the Republican
when you're
weather
a
machine.
national
Funded
leader
by
like
Clinton.
I am, I can do whatever the
Funded by
fuck I
Clinton.
want.
The Republican weather machine funded by Clinton.
Nah, Clinton was too busy getting his balls sucked off to worry about a weather machine. Unless you mean Hillary Clinton, now that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. She wore the
We all
pants in
know.
that family.
Exactly. We all knew who wore the pants in the Clinton family. It was her.
Those people that are making those Minecraft AI videos, they brought Clinton into that, so now they, like, you know, the AI or whatever voices are completely like shitting down on Clinton or something like that about Monica Lewinsky while he's playing. This shit's hilarious.
I'm still waiting on Trump to get arrested.
He still hasn't got arrested.
Still hasn't got arrested.
Wow.
But his dumbass constituents or whatever.
OXNYX053 says, Clinton
his
was
followers,
Bush's cousin. And wasn't
base,
Hillary getting her balls sucked off
as it
by
were,
Reno?
sure did donate $1.5 million to him after he announced he was getting arrested that Tuesday. So I'm starting to see a pattern here.
A payoff pattern?
Yeah. Trump complains about something and then gets paid lots of money from his fellow voters. So
that means he's going to win the next election.
I sure hope not. We need some new blood.
We need. I don't know what the deal is about having like these 80-plus-year-old people or some shit like that.
Exactly. That's why I say we need some new blood.
Yeah. I mean, what was it like? Obama was like the youngest one in a damn long time.
I don't mind that group being poorer.
Yeah, let's find out. I know Kennedy was the youngest president ever.
Yeah. But
President.
it's always, and unless we just forget that they've been in there for like 8 years and they get older looking, I don't know.
When elected. All right. So we have George Washington, who was 67. No,
He was
57 years old when he entered office.
He was first elected president because apparently we had a president before him that was not elected, that ran things or something, and he was just the first voted in.
OXNYX053 says, I
So
am
Joe
basically
Biden,
out of time.
How you
70.
doing, dude?
Have fun.
Have fun, Ox.
Samu Wraith says, Core?
Or wearing
What?
short shorts?
Wearing short shorts?
What?
I don't know. Hey, Samu Wraith.
Captain to
Sam
Enterprise.
Wraith.
Before I put you on the brig, there's a little something I owe
Yeah,
you.
Core likes wearing short shorts. So Biden was 78
Jim,
years
what the hell
old
is the matter with you?
Consider that an
when
honor.
he took office.
Did you enjoy it, Captain?
Believe me, Mr. Spock,
Trump was 70
It was
years
painful.
old.
in
Barack
more ways than
Obama
one.
was 47.
Fascinating.
Bush was,
Pure energy.
ooh, okay.
Pure thought.
Bill Clinton was
Totally
46 years
incorporeal.
old when he took office.
Not life as
Really?
we know it at all.
Yep.
He looked like an old man when he took office.
And John F. Kennedy, who was the... Now, hold on, this is weird. John F. Kennedy was 43 years old. But it says here, Grover Cleveland was... No. Theodore Roosevelt was 42 years old when he took office? So that's younger than John F. Kennedy.
And Abraham Lincoln was just an old man.
Wait, what? I'm
It's
confused.
good to have land.
Only says here
you crazy Dutch bastard.
that Theodore Roosevelt was 42 years
says,
old
LOL.
when he
Samarate
took
says,
office,
nice.
and that John F. Kennedy was 43 years old. But when you Google who was the youngest president, it says John F. Kennedy.
So John F. Kennedy was younger than him by being 1 year older than he was when he took office.
Yeah, I guess somebody at Wikipedia fucked up.
It's that time traveling shit.
Yeah.
The doctor got involved.
But Joe Biden is the oldest elected president in human history.
They pulled him out of
Jesus Christ.
There just needs to be like cutoff limit for that bullshit, you know?
Yeah, well, this is what I find funny. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump are all 76 years old today.
Wow. Like they're the same age. Wow.
Exactly.
I never knew that.
They're even like roughly the same. Like Bill Clinton is 76 and 218 days old. George Bush is 76 years, 262 days old. Donald Trump is 76 years and 284 days old.
So they're basically just around the same ballpark. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's a conspiracy right there. You found it.
It is. Yep, I found it. They're all reincarnation
triplets.
of George Washington.
George Washington.
Yep.
The wooden teeth tell no lie. Cherry tree or some shit. I don't know. What did George Washington do again? I can't remember. Like how you're supposed to remember him for some reason.
George Washington?
Yeah.
He was the general, the Revolutionary War?
Like, some sort of like a little thing. Who was the cherry tree chopper or some shit?
John Adams or something like that?
I can't remember. And then Jefferson or Jackson, whoever the hell it was, had like 1,000 children or something.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Like how Family Guy. Do you remember whenever they do that little cutaway thing on Family Guy? They're like, whenever Jefferson like had a photo taken of his family, and it's like him and his wife and his kid out there, and he goes, "No, let's bring in the whole family," and all the slaves come in. You know, like, damn. Yeah, a downer moment right there. I totally walked into that one. It's a Family Guy clip, though. It made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Because it's useless now, isn't it?
It's useless. That's right. It's useless now. I always had gotten confused, like Theodore Roosevelt and the other Roosevelt guy. Teddy and Theodore. I can't remember. Which one was which? I can't tell you all the presidents of the United States. Went over them in school, but I don't remember hardly any of them.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt, I think he fucked a bear or some shit like that.
Yeah, which one was Robin Williams?
Teddy Roosevelt, the bear fucker.
The bear fucker.
And then Franklin D. Roosevelt is the longest serving president, and he's the reason why they created term limits.
Else he'd be like over in Russia, you know. Was there something like even if they serve like their terms or something, can they run again like in 4 years later, or they completely cut them off from that?
No, if you serve
the 8
as president, like you could only run like one more time. 2 terms is your limit.
So yeah, total of 8 years, unless something happens
says,
during one of them
Schwarzenegger for president
to extend that time, like a war breaks out and they call for something or whatever, I think. There's something about that somewhere. Like you can put on hold elections or something until something's resolved, and that could cause a president to stay in office up to years later or something.
Well, what happens is, if you're elected vice president and you take over, like let's say Biden gets shot and he's killed, and Kamala Harris takes over. If she serves longer than 2 years, she can only run once. If she serves shorter than 2 years, she could run twice.
Ah.
So she could technically be a 3-term president, but she has to have served as president for less than 2 years.
Well, has anything been up with that with her anyway? Because I haven't heard anything. I don't like watch the news or anything, so all I know is like they talk about her laughing about all sorts of shit, not knowing what the hell's going on or something.
I mean, she's literally vice president. She does jack shit. That's what the vice president does. Even Biden, when he was president,
or vice.
rarely did. Yeah, vice president rarely did. Like, I mean, I know Kamala Harris served as president for like 4 hours once, or some shit like that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The president will get their whatever it's called.
Like a vacation?
A physical? No, not a vacation. They don't get no damn vacation. They'll get the physical or whatever, and they'll do a whatever it's called, where they shove a tube up your asshole and
look
around.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah,
they have to
so
sedate you.
Biden had a colonoscopy, and she served as president.
Because he was unconscious.
For like for the few hours that he was unable to perform his duties.
The few hours he had a camera up his ass.
Yep.
They should put that on the internet.
If only Schwarzenegger could run for president,
Sam
unfortunately.
says, right? His duties.
Foreign people can't do that because they don't want to risk. They want to risk somebody taking their jobs.
His duties.
Dookie in chief.
The Dookie in chief. Yeah, Arnold was all about politics and stuff. I never knew he was that involved. Until
he was also about having affairs with foreign people.
Well, yeah.
Getting them pregnant.
You know.
Having an illegitimate child
with the
stuff
nanny,
like that.
With the housekeeper or some shit like that.
Yeah, with Fran Drescher.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Mr. Schwarzenegger.
Hi, I'm here. What do you need from me? Come into the office.
I got a job for you. Oh, a job. Yeah, get under the desk.
Get under the desk now. That is better. Yes. And that's how Hey Arnold was made. Hey Arnold. Every time she'd come in. He's ultra enthusiastic on his YouTube channel. Even it would be brief little things or something like that. He's got to tell people about it. I'm still relevant. Yeah. Remember Conan O'Brien says he always eats a sausage whenever he does his impersonation. He says, my Arnold always eats a sausage at the end of a sentence.
Do that. Maybe I'll do that. Put this over here. That is cool. So my add-ons for this game, which I'm not supposed to be using because that's against terms of service, don't show up on my stream because they're overlaid instead of...
What are they? Are they just client-side things that help you know stuff?
Yeah, like there's this one, it's a wheel I bring up that I could use to select different mounts.
Instead of having to go like the hard way through a menu or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I usually just, I just use it to quickly access my mount instead of having to move my mouse to the right side of the screen. I'm that lazy. I can just press one button on my keyboard and flick my mouse.
You'd rather play with the keyboard than the mouse.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good add-on. It's not one you're using to, cheat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't cheat.
It's a keybind, damn it.
Get even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a keybind. Kind of.
That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Samuraith says, core cheat confirmed.
Yes, there will be no documentation of him confirming that he's a cheater. Because even though it's on this audio that we are listening to, that you are listening to, that is recording, and is streaming, saving, and going to be on YouTube, nobody's going to see it anyway, so.
Exactly. Now it's time for so long, but we'll sing one more song.
Sunday, Last of Us is over with, so there's nothing there. Tomorrow's Monday, so that's Quantum Leap. 2 days,
Samuraith says,
3-ish later.
Like Richard Nixon, he is not a crook.
A card day.
Yeah, Richard Nixon was
Dead
never
Sandstorm
a crook.
has started stalking you.
Dead Sandstorm has started stalking me. Okay, cool. Hello there, Dead Sandstorm. Thank you for the stalking. I don't know why you decided to follow, but welcome. I'm not worth it.
Why the heck are you distorted for? That's weird.
Distortion?
Quiet, titmouse.
Yeah, you're sounding like a robot for a second.
Really?
At least to me.
Not to me, I'm not. Ask everybody
I'm
else.
gonna assume it's the rain.
Is it raining there?
Yeah, it's been raining all the day.
It's supposed to rain here today, but it didn't. It was
It's
cloudy.
been raining, and we had like tornado activity, all kinds of fun shit.
Cool.
I slept through all of it.
Samuraith says, Scorp is a robot that's new.
Actually, that's nothing new at all. That's pretty normal for Scorpwana. He's always been a robot.
Robots in disguise. Robotic responses, or pre-programmed responses, I should say. Because if someone says one little word, it always triggers some sort of shit in my head that has to be said out loud.
I was watching some videos earlier because Amy Jo Johnson's... I don't want to say she's been in the news, but she's been like on social media lately.
About Jed
because
and David Frank?
No, it's because she said that when commented, she said she decided not to do the Power Rangers special that they're doing because she didn't like the offer they made her, and people assumed that it had to do with money. And she was like, no, it wasn't about the money, and people are like, oh, why are you backing on your comment,
It's about morals, damn it. And the whatever of something.
But then there's this other thing that was posted about why Jason David Frank, because he killed himself after basically the special was shot.
So yeah, so he's not in it because he just wasn't in it.
Yeah, and people, there's this person or whatever who claims that they've seen all the emails and the back and forth. I don't know if it was like his agent or a really good friend or what, but he was doing this Power Rangers special himself. I guess he kind of has like some ownership of Power Rangers or something. I don't know.
He can wear, or well, he used to be able to wear, and he still had his Green Ranger costume and his White Ranger one and some other ones too. And for some events, he could actually put on those suits and do stuff or whatever as a Ranger. So he had like some sort of permissions and stuff like that. Because he even did, what was that, that Versus thing on YouTube they had, where live action thing. He did that, like Green Ranger versus White Ranger, and you know, whoever won, and he versed Scorpion or something on there as the White Ranger from Morphin Power Rangers.
But he was doing his own special called Legend of the White Dragon or whatever.
Ooh. And
that's supposed to be coming out at some point.
Wow.
But it's it's an unofficial special or whatever, but they said that the reason why he refused to do the Mighty Morphin special is because they wanted to take away the White Dragon special away from him. Ooh. And basically shove it in a vault, and he didn't want that to happen. He wanted it released.
He wanted it to be about him, damn it. He was all up in the shit about Power Rangers, though. He dwelled on that shit as much as Michael Rosenbaum dwells on Lex Luthor.
Oh, does he regret quitting or something?
Well, yeah, he talks about, like, whenever he and Tom Welling will be talking about shit, you know. Because, you know, he, what was it, up to, like, season 6 or 7 whenever he left the show?
Right.
And, he keeps saying he should have, like, stuck with it or whatever like that, and made better stories with you know, Clark and things or whatever, and then because I'm waiting for that awkward moment, because they're in just like the mid half of season 2 or whatever, and their talking thing they do, but I'm waiting for the moment, like, you know, he's no longer in the episodes at all or referenced, you know, and it's just Tom Welling talking about he's the only one out of the 2 that was there after that, so. You know, what's Rosenbaum gonna do? Like, he's not gonna say, "Well, I remember this or that," because they call like the producers and creators of the show every once in a while during the Talkville thing and stuff, and ask them questions about the show and what they were thinking and why it sucked or something, like one for a scene, or why it didn't make any sense. And he literally just jumps all over the thing. They tell he's the audience says he's shitting on it half the time.
Right.
And he gives a rating of, like, he has Rosenbaum roses or bombs, and he'll bomb like a bunch of them or get him like a low rose or something if he doesn't like it. And it's like they had the recent episode that they went over was when Lex got mad and hit the windshield of that meter maid dude or whatever with the golf club, and he's like, why did Lex do this? You know, that's out of ordinary for him at this point in his story, to just all of a sudden just decide to beat up a car or whatever.
Right.
He said he didn't understand it on the day of shooting either. And he said everybody was acting weird. He said Lana wasn't even like Lana. Chloe wasn't like Chloe. Nobody. It's like, what was going on? And then they found out, like, a lot of the shows being shot out of sequence and order, and it was at the wrong. It was put in the wrong order, so it didn't make any sense playing it through until if you watch a different episode. Like, what was it? They shot an episode during season 1 that they aired in season 2, and it makes no sense that it's in season 2. So
right.
he was like complaining about that too, and asking. He called up that Al guy or whatever that was the creator of Smallville, asking him what the hell was with the episode and why it sucked so much. It's so funny to listen to him like rant about that shit though. because they'll even go into this whole talk thing like there was the Jonathan Taylor Thomas episode where he was there as like the clone dude that can copy himself or something or whatever, and there's a scene where like it's either I think Chloe gets thrown off the dam and Clark super jumps down to brace her impact or something like that, and then he like races her all the way up to the top of the dam again, and Michael Rosenbaum goes, wait, why did he race her back up there? Why couldn't he just like, you know, put her in a safe spot? Why put her back up into danger? And he said, plus, like when she's falling, he's catching it. Wouldn't that be like hitting steel beams? You know? And he like gets all over the place about it. He says, and she's also like running, and he's running real fast and just stop. Wouldn't that hurt her too? And he's like just all over the place with it. And Tom Welland's like, well, you know, you have to suspend your. He says, man, I have a tolerance for that, but I can't figure this shit out for nothing. It's like it's. So
I mean,
funny.
I kind of agree with him too, with a point, because it's not just a him problem. It's it's not just a Smallville problem. It's literally a problem with almost every superhero show or movie ever. It's just like with the Flash. Why is enemies a problem with the Flash when he can literally move at the speed of light?
Exactly. Yeah. He can think faster than they can. What was it earlier on in earlier seasons? He could access the area first in his speed time or whatever to see everything or whatever, then confront the enemy. Has he stopped doing that? You know, like he's always getting himself in danger and shit. And I'm gonna go run off and run back and throw a lightning blast at you that's gonna hurt. Okay, I'll be right back. You know. But yeah, he critiques the show so much, and people say that he shits on the show and he doesn't like it or something like that. He just it's just funny to watch.
Samu Wraith says he could literally run so fast he evaporate the air, make enemies
I
suffocate.
remember when I watched Smallville, I thought the first like 3 or 4 seasons were pretty good, but after that point, it was a chore to watch every week because it just got
it got repetitive.
Go off
and
the rails.
it went to like Metropolis or something too, and that may have been
that
one
whole
of the
thing
reasons.
when that whole thing where they brought Christopher Reeves on to be some scientist or whatever, and it's just like, really, like.
Yeah. They had to get that fan stuff in there. That would have been a good, like, let's see, Annette O'Toole that played Martha, you know, she was in Superman 3? So she got to work with Christopher Reeve, and she said it would have been a great opportunity for Martha to meet up with that doctor, and then they two be on the screen again together since so long, but she says they just shut her down on that whole idea back whenever they were going to do that. And
Right.
then it's like, you know, Clark's going to New York to go see this professor guy by himself. Why wouldn't his mother go with him, you know? Because she says, like, during Smallville, they didn't have anything for her to really do other than just be there in the house or some shit.
Right.
So the later episodes or later seasons when she becomes like a senator type or whatever kind of bullshit, and then she's away from the show even more. But then again, she was also filming that Huntress or whatever it was, where she was a bounty hunter on USA Network. So that could have been.
Oh, when your job is literally to be Jonathan's wife.
Yeah.
Like
true.
That's your job.
She
You're
was
Jonathan's
talking about
wife.
like whenever she got cast for it, she thought they were going to bring like someone around to pick up the cast members that lived around in Vancouver, and then they told her, well, you're going to have to drive to location. She's like, what? You know? She says, like, because like the farmhouse versus where they all would stay is like maybe like a 2-hour drive just by itself, 2 there and then 2 hours back because of the location. So she said she'd have to get up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for like an 8 a.m. shoot or some shit like that, just to drive there, and then like stay there until it gets dark, and then have to drive back to where she was living at the time.
I can't remember if it was a clip from the interview he did the initial interview he did with Michael Rosenbaum, or if it was like another, maybe like a Jon Stewart interview or something. But I remember Tom Welling was talking about how his schedule was so tight
Oh, yeah.
since he was the main actor of the show, and he had to drive himself too. And there was a point where he was so tired he fell asleep behind the wheel of the car and either got into a wreck or almost got into a wreck.
Yeah.
And at that point, he had to adjust his contract to where he would be escorted to set, so that couldn't happen again.
Yeah, they talk
he
about that too. Because Michael Rosenbaum was saying, like, you know, he even mentioned something like, you know, after the thing that almost happened to you, Tom, and he's like, yeah, and he said, yeah, like I said, I had advocated for you, and I told him you need somebody to either drive you up there or something, you know, because you can't have the lead like being in the hospital. I mean, where's the show, you know?
Especially when your lead's supposed to be the Man of Steel, it'd be kind of goofy for him to show up in a cast.
Right. Well, you know, there was a few episodes of Smallville that where Clark would have a sore throat.
Right.
You know? And you're like, how can Superman have a sore throat? But you kind of overlooked that. But Tom, they were always like talking about, like Tom would say something like he was kind of sick that time, like running a low fever, and they kept him working anyway, and had a cold or whatever like that. And I'm thinking, damn, you know, got under contract. I guess you got to do shit.
Samu Wraith says, that's not possible. Superman can't have a sore throat.
You got a job. You got a job.
Yeah. And he'd say something like in between one of the seasons, instead of working out, he just ate. And they needed a shirtless scene, and he had to like negotiate them for just a shirt scene because he wasn't ripped like he was in the previous season because he'd just been eating junk all like the summertime or whatever. And I think there's like a picture of him during that time that people like paparazzi had got, you know. And yeah, it's just wild. And he even talks about like the later seasons of Smallville didn't feel like Smallville to him. Like you know, he had started out wanting to be like more drama and like a family show kind of thing, and the Superman stuff was on the back burner, you know, but they kept pushing for more and more to get it in there, and other casts leaving and stuff, and him sticking around, you know, because he loved doing that. And he didn't know any better is what he said, actually. Like,
right.
He said now if he were to like to go back in time with what he knows now, he would have negotiated a whole lot differently. You know.
But like, once the show was all said and done, it was just Tom Welling, Anoke O'Toole, and Allison Mack, right? They're the only people left on the show?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. From the original set. Because Lana
even Annette O'Toole was like not even around.
Yeah, she was like a senator or something or whatever, so she was always like away. Like even in like the last few episodes or so, whenever he received his Superman suit, which was the, you know, Superman Returns suit just folded up or something like that. It said, here, this is from your mom, she couldn't be here kind of situation. You're like,
right.
Okay. And then I think, like, she may have been there during the, like, Clark's gonna get married thing or some shit, but, you know, hell, I think John Schneider had more appearances after his character's death than she ever did. You know.
Kind of funny.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, no, Dad, no, he's dead. 2 episodes later. Oh, you're not my dad. No, I'm actually Jor-El, but I'm using his physical form or whatever to blah 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 blah. And right now they're talking about the caves because, you know, the cave situation
dead, Jim.
That happened. You know, they like where they found the caves and the story of Sagith and whatever and the superpowers and stuff. And they're like, man, we hated those caves, and they've like said it at the same time because they were actually real caves, and they hated going in there and acting and shit.
That's okay. I hated it too.
Yeah.
I thought the whole cave storyline and everything leading up and after that was so dumb. I hated that. there
Michael
was some-
Rosenbaum. He's like,
Hello.
hello Judas. He's like, or is it Tom Welling? It's one of the two. Whenever they're watching it, they're like, how is it that, you know, for thousands of years, these people have been trying to find like the entrance to one of these caves and the information on the walls and stuff, and they can't find it, and then all of a sudden Clark falls in the damn thing or whatever like that, and they find it the next day. You know, it's so damn funny.
That thing is dumb. It's like, I can't remember if it was in the cave or the field where, like behind the shed that Clark lived at, but I remember that there was a portal that Kryptonians could take from Krypton to Smallville
Yeah.
to
Judas
get to Earth.
Decott says, we
And it's
talking
just like,
Smallville?
Yes,
why the fuck
Judas.
didn't you use that portal to save your people?
Right? Yeah.
Why put Kal-El in a fucking spaceship and send him to Earth when you could just walk through this portal?
Mhm. Yeah, they haven't gotten that far yet into the episodes. I think a new one may come out tomorrow or whatever.
Tickle my pickle!
Yes, Judas, we're talking about Smallville. And mostly Talkville. Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling have a video podcast where they rewatch and they talk about, you know, the show and stuff and episodes and things. Fan questions and stuff like that. And Tom Welling's all like, dude, I don't remember that day. I don't know what we did that day. And someone will ask a question like, Tom, whenever you were on the wires and rigged up for that and to do the super thing or whatever here, did they do this or this or whatever? And he's like, I don't know. You know, it's like he was just a blur. He said during that whole time because he was there so much. It makes sense.
That's what I don't. That's what I don't get about
Abort the mission. Repeat, abort
people
the mission.
who work in general. Don't realize that you don't remember shit about your
Saturate
job
says,
other than
imagine the
the
shot of
repetitive
Superman's
tasks
court.
you do
Troops inbound.
every day. But like, it's the same thing with actors. They go to work, they act. I remember there was a story that Frankie Muniz talked about during an interview, and I think it was with Steve-O from Jackass. He was talking about how after Malcolm in the Middle, it was like a two-part conversation, but people who watched the podcast took it as one big part. But he was talking about how after he did Malcolm in the Middle, he had all this Malcolm in the Middle money because obviously he was the big star, so he got all these residuals from the show and everything. And he basically became a race car driver.
Wow.
Yeah, he became a race car driver. Liked to race cars and stuff. He wasn't like NASCAR or whatever. It was just like low-level circuit stuff or whatever.
Right.
But he got into a really bad accident, and that was the reason why he stopped racing cars. But after he told that story, he was talking about how he doesn't remember recording, you know, Malcolm in the Middle. And people took that as, oh, he got into a really bad accident, so he obviously has brain damage and doesn't remember ever doing Malcolm in the Middle. And it's like, no, you idiot. It's not that he doesn't remember doing Malcolm in the Middle. It's when you work a job and your tasks become so repetitive, you don't remember the individual things. It's just all one big blur.
Exactly, yeah. That's kind of what Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum talk about a lot on there too. Like, you know, they'll get like little glimpses back, you know, if something stuck that day or whatever, but you know, most of the episodes they watch, they don't remember like what went on during the day or who did what and all that, which makes sense too, because the episode was like what, like 20 plus years ago. So yeah, you know, be lucky enough for them to remember a lot of stuff. They remember stuff on the set, you know, but not about the. That's the thing too. Like whenever actors have the script and stuff like that, well, the scenes aren't ever like filmed in a sequential order, so they don't know what the hell's going on. They just know to do their part.
Judas Decott
and
says,
do, you know, that's it. Like if two people have a scene together, they'll do the scene. They won't read each other's dialogue, and they'll just forget like that next day. You know, like it's over, done. I crammed for that test. you know, and it makes sense to me that people would forget, because I forget the last person I check out on the register at work.
Samu Wraith says, hell, I have enough trouble remembering stuff from last week. It's no wonder they don't remember stuff from 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to remember stuff. Hell, even going through a doorway will kill your memory half the time. What the fuck, you know? So, The Brooms to See. But yeah, it's cool to watch that. And they have like this guy named Ryan that sits there and is kind of like a little, like, you know, I don't know if he's like a producer type or whatnot. He sits on Michael Rosenbaum's couch and he does something for Michael Rosenbaum, but for the Talkville he's there. He like takes notes and does stuff or what, but he has him watching the show from a new person's perspective who's never seen it before, and he offers like a different take on a lot of things, like what if they're doing this or that, and he says, well, that kind of makes some sense, you know. You know, it's interesting, and he'll like pick out 3 scenes in the show, like which one is the scene that he likes the most, and he'll have like Michael will say it's this one, or Tom will say it's this one, and whoever wins and stuff, and it's like a little competition they do. And they're not in like the same, they're doing a video like a Zoom call with each other while they're doing it, because Tom's like up in Northern California and Michael's like in like LA or some shit. It's pretty cool though. I like watching it. It's really laid back. I mean, he talks about
laid back.
Laid back. My money, my wallet. I completely ran out of Discovery Legends. Or marks or whatever.
Sounds like you need more mark.
I need more markers. Yeah, completely run out. That's rare, because I had like over 2,000.
Samu Wraith says, he don't understand.
There's someone on the way. Something.
He doesn't understand, you say, mister.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry, he's sorry.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Why is that cutting it off? Damn, that doesn't make any sense. I recorded the whole thing. It sucks ass. Now I have to go back and remake that
Samu Wraith
sound.
says, LOL.
Yeah, I have a sound that is, you know, Sammy Wraith requested it in the Discord chat, and I got it. It's Dr. Evil saying, "How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?" You know, and I made it and I put it into the thing or whatever, and it plays it. Except at bastard, it just says bastard, and it just stops instead of saying tard. Best. Shit that happens. Shit don't stink. Underwater, the shit don't stink.
I want Deacon back! I want my Deacon back! Deacon back! Deacon back!
South Park is freaking hilarious.
How about no,
I want my
you
Deacon
crazy
back.
Dutch bastard?
You crazy Dutch bast.
Bast. I don't know why it cut that off though. 'Cause I listened to it over and over and over to make sure the sound was going to be okay.
How would you like to suck my balls?
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Actually, what I said was... How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Garrison?
I like how Cartman just has a megaphone out of nowhere. How would you like to suck my balls, Miss Garrison? Balls.
Samu Wraith says, a megaphone, and it's so funny.
Yeah. It's one of those cartoon things that happen.
No, Kitty, this is my putt pad.
Imagine being told by
No, kid is not.
not only an old man,
Kid is being a dildo.
but his daughter, that they have no interest in you at all whatsoever. I thought that was funny in The Whale.
The Whale. There's no interest in you whatsoever.
Christian dude, the whatever his name was, he was like, "You're just a baby. I have no attraction to you whatsoever." And then later on, the daughter was like, "What do you think? I'm into you? I'm not attracted to you at all, like whatsoever." And I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah, she was pretty harsh in that. Pretty harsh to a lot of people. Kind of a creepy moment too, whenever he like cornered dude up, you know, when he's in his wheelchair, like over to the side. But yeah, it's a okay movie. I wouldn't watch it again. But yeah, I mean, for Brendan Fraser, Brendan Fraser, to come back from like, you know, not being in a movie for a long time, and then all of a sudden, you know, that's like his first movie back. Yeah, he did all right. Well, you know, look at his face. So I just constantly always see like Encino Man and Mummy Guy and the Bedazzled dude or whatever, and the one from you know, when Christopher Walken Back from the Past or something like that. I see goofy, laughy type or whatever. I don't see like serious emotion. But that's like a typecast, I suppose.
Steamed like a shakuzi.
Shakuzi. Because usually he was always in some fun stuff or whatever, you know, and not like super drama-y things, I think. But it's like with Jim Carrey, you know, well, damn, what the hell did I do that for? With Jim Carrey, you know, he's always like goofy, funny stuff, and then he was in The Majestic. You're like, what? Where's the laugh and where's the goofiness and stuff? You know, it's a serious role, and they were like, Jim Carrey? Are you
Samu
really?
Wraith says, I remember when he did what was it, The Mountie?
The Mountie?
Samu Wraith says, Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah, Deadly Do Right. Well, he did like a bunch of those kind of Hanna-Barbera things or whatever they were. George of the Jungle.
Samu Wraith says, yep.
George of the Jungle. Yeah, he was always in some funny, goofy type stuff or whatever. I mean, even in like, was it Doom Patrol? You know, his character was goofy-ish there, even though it wasn't him on screen most of the time. George of the Jungle, George of the Jungle, friend to you and me.
Fuck you, Jonesy. Your mum shot cum straight across the room and killed my Siamese fighting fish. Threw off the pH levels in my aquarium, you piece of shit.
Harvest Materials Space. Let's see. Come on, there it is, Japari. I knew I could find it. I put all these frog bones together and summon some sort of a demon. If only people knew. Diet. This is Japari. Kyra, I believe in you.
GG.
GG. Hey. What a Endeavor down.
Remember when Christopher Lloyd was a Klingon? Oh my god!
Remember when Christopher Lloyd was a Klingon? Oh my god. Holy shnikes. Plasma damage space. Heard 10. Okay. Yep. Plasma damage space.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Samuraith says, imagine Judas as a Klingon.
Imagine Judas is a Klingon, living on a starship. Ooh. Imagine all the peepholes. Imagine all the peephole. Leopold. Leopold.
Judas D. Cott says, IR Klingon.
You are a Klingon. I am Klingon.
Tiger uppercut!
Tiger uppercut, damn it. Infected a conduit again for the win. Space. Embassy, how long's that got still? 5 days, 6 hours, 59 minutes, 48 seconds. Yes, we need to let the light shine.
Samuraith says, Judas would headbutt everyone.
Totally
I'm gonna let
did
it
not
shine.
Complete this project will expand the shuttle bay in your fleet embassy, including this edition of an open roof. Why? Why do we need that? We don't. We need these to go through. Well, I guess they could have that, because, yeah.
Can y'all believe that Scorpana is off for one whole day?
One whole day.
And then he has one whole day of work, and then he's off for like
4 days.
4 days,
Well,
and then he works
see.
for like
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a 3.
2 days, and then he's off for like 5 days, another vacation,
Yeah.
unpaid.
Another unpaid vacation. Yes. Well, yeah, when you have people that can actually do things when you're not there, it's nice. It's like, was it yesterday? Got a phone call from someone in Indiana that said, "Hey, is your manager there?" I said, "No, she's off today." He says, "What about the assistant manager?" I said, "No, she's off today." He's like, "Well, who's in charge down there today?" I said, "Me, I guess." Is there any way you can get a hold of the manager? And I was like, yeah. He goes, "Well, I need to talk to him because there's a person that's saying that they want to transfer or something like that to the store from my app thing or whatever to a store down where you are or your store, and I was wanting to see if there was a confirmation on that or something, and I needed to talk to your manager." I was like, "Well, she ain't here." Because, "Well, could you give her her phone number?" I was like, "Sure." So I went in the office and I got her phone number and gave it to him. He said, "Okay, thanks." I was like, "All right, bye. See you later."
She's gonna cut you out.
Samuraith says, LOL do it score.
Well, I was gonna ask today when I got there, but then people I worked with before were there, so I couldn't. They left before I could ask.
Samuraith says, she gonna be like, what the fuck, Scorp?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna do. I was meaning to ask her today. I was gonna like, "Hey, did you get a phone call from somebody in Indiana?"
The Netite probe can repair the transformers. Stop now.
course, I don't know. It may have been a legit call from some manager up there. I just don't see it. If I, you know, someone from there that was put into their application system for being hired wants to transfer to the exact store that I'm at, when we don't even have any positions open. I don't know. I don't understand that bullshit. I just let it happen the way it's supposed to. I have a don't interfere clause. I can just pass on the information. Oh yeah. Since the manager has a lot of chickens at her house and stuff, she was showing me. She was so excited to show me this one chicken that she has that crawled up her arm or something like that. She said it's got to be a little male or whatever, because all the males always do that, you know. I'm like, okay, well. I said, well, I've been raising chickens too. She goes, really? And I said, yeah, in Minecraft.
Samurai says, thought you had don't give a shit clause.
Right. So so she's like, oh. Then she turned around and like started talking to the assistant. So I was like, okay, well, nice talk. Guess I could kind of gather that I didn't really care, but yeah. It's not that I don't care. I just don't have time.
You don't have time.
You don't have time to engage. Like today, whenever the ones that I had worked with before, like 7 years ago or whatever, or plus. It's been longer than that, I think. I've almost been there for 12. And so it had to have been like about 8 or 9 years. But I haven't like talked to or seen like since then. That people have moved on with their lives kind of situation. So I haven't like talked to them or anything. They've always like been, we should all hang out and go eat or something on a weekend. I said, I work every weekend. Well, I'm always off, and she's always off too, so we can. I was like, but I work every weekend. I can't. Well, you can get up early. Say, that ain't happening. It's like they're like, oh, you still like stay up late and stuff. I said, yeah. It's even worse now when I'm off. I told them like yesterday. Said, yeah, being off those 5 days really spoiled me and stuff like that. And they're like, why? I was like, well, 'cause I've been waking up at like 6 o'clock in the evening. It's like, oh my God. How do you do that? I said, it's real easy. You just go to sleep at a late time and you wake up late. It's the same as going to sleep at the right time and waking up early. You just do it at a different time. I said, that's not what I mean. I was like, well, that's what you asked. I said, how do you do that? I mean, you just lay down and you close your eyes and go to sleep. Had you done that before? Such a
Samurai says, yeah, that's like people been asking me to do stuff socially and I'm like, I just struggle to sleep. How do I do that?
Right. That's some sort of pulsar.
Judas D. Cott says, he's sleeping, Jim.
He's sleeping, Jim. He's alive, Jim.
What the hell do I get rid of?
I did it.
Always. Display type. Alliance members.
Samurai says, how do I do that, Mr. Samurai says, I don't understand.
I don't understand. Sam, have you been watching Picard, Sam? I know we probably ask you this all the time, and you always answer, but I always forget. That's what I do. It's my superpower, forgetting and sleeping.
Samu Wraith says, "Yep, I watched all of it now."
Good deal. Did you see the Easter eggs? Did you see that James T. Kirk is technically alive in the Picard future?
Look at that happy
is he? I
banana
thought he
down
died.
there. I hope he gets.
He
fucked
died,
up. I
but
hope he
his
gets
body is kept in stasis, and it shows it as alive on that screen. People have been like looking at it like something fierce.
Samu Wraith says, "What?
Yeah,
I didn't catch
that
that."
either. Probably because I hate the man and wouldn't notice something like that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Why can't I get rid of? No.
Yeah,
no.
well, did you see the James T. Kirk thing that they did in that episode, though, Sam?
Samu Wraith says, "I saw Picard's body.
There we
Scorp
go.
must have missed that."
Well, apparently they have Jonathan Archer there too. And Captain Kirk. Yeah. Like whenever
Samu Wraith says, "The ship from Voyage Home."
Yeah, that was there,
Samu
yeah.
Wraith says, "The Klingon."
But the scene right before the attack tribble to Worf, they had like a little picture or like a little overlay screen that you look at the area, and it showed like a human body, like 3D diagram, virtual thing or whatever, and it said the name at the bottom said James T. Kirk, and people have been like, they've screen capped that, enhanced it as best they possibly can to read the text, and they see that it has life signs or whatever on it, saying that he's alive in stasis. So like, if
Samu Wraith
at the
says,
end,
"Okay, I'm going to have to rewatch that."
he's gonna have to rewatch that. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. You said Kirk. Okay. But yeah, and there's something there, like people are reading something about the Phoenix Project, and I think that's where they get the whole idea that he's alive, is because they say,
Samu Wraith says,
and I don't know if it's
"The
true.
Shat's alive."
I don't know if it's true though, but they say that William Shatner had wrote some Kirk books back in the day, and he had in there something about the Phoenix Project, which brings Kirk back to life and to use him for some whatever stuff, I don't know, and that is mentioned in that text at the bottom.
Get ready to fight.
So that would mean that Captain Kirk is alive in stasis if the Phoenix Project is mentioned, because that's what happens in the book. So it canonizes Shatner's books.
Samu Wraith says, "Let's hope they don't use Kai's Pine."
Chris Pine. Well, and then the people started talking about, okay, well, if Shatner could be alive, or well, if Kirk could be Shatner, if Kirk could be alive, then that does open the door for a possibility that he could come back as Kirk and have his own series or something. At the ripe old age of 92, which would be normal, I guess. Now he's less frail than Patrick. They just have more Trek things to say, I guess. What would they have him do? Like just sit in the captain's chair the whole time? Or they're thinking maybe they'll like have him come out at the very end of Picard, and there he'll be like, you know, whatever, you know. Most people, if you want like speculation theories and stuff, if that's permitted here in my stream, I don't know if it is or not, but most people are thinking that at the end of this whole thing, Picard will sacrifice himself and actually die. Because it's like, you know, Data coming back and all that, and others coming back from the dead or something, like for 2 times or some shit. That this gives Picard a way to say that, you know, he should have died in the events of Nemesis, but he didn't. This Data swapped places with him, and you know, that's how Data died. And he's regretted it ever since, kind of thing. Like, you know, it's like it's been depressing him ever since it happened.
Samu Wraith says, I mean hell, his Enterprise is still there, Scorp.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about like that's the ship that's still in the bay or whatever being worked on. And that, you know, speculation is, since these ships are networked now, that the museum ships are not. They're still the original ships. So they'll use those to fight against the whatever's involved with the Changeling Federation, I guess you could say. So it could be Federation on Federation ships, but, you know, that's what people are saying, or speculating as to what could possibly happen. It probably won't be as many ships involved if that does. It could just be to Enterprise D. They're talking about, like, it's been salvaged from wherever it was. I can't remember what planet. You know, like the saucer section, of course, could be salvaged completely because the whole thing came down intact, pretty much. Sure, broken up a little bit here and there, but still could be put back together. And then the explosion of the star drive section or whatever up in space, you know, that could be re-replicated and just snapped right back to the saucer itself. So that's why everybody's like kind of excited that Kirk come back too, because they said they've already shown like one of his original era ships and his actual A ship from the motion pictures and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden you see Kirk, or an outline of an X-ray version of seeing the inside of a body and stuff. And it's got people excited seeing that. So a spinoff could be Captain Kirk. I don't know. I don't know what they would do with that. And everybody he knows is dead, pretty much. Man, it would be right too. Like if Captain Kirk came back now, you know, that version of Captain Kirk, nobody that he knows is still alive at all. I mean, hell, the only actors still alive are like, what, 2 of them anyway, Chekhov and Sulu, Takei, and what's his name? Damn, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Shit. Shatner always had a problem knowing his name too in real life. I must share a lot with, you know.
Repeat.
The
imposter is not to be injured.
No, I'm
Captain Kirk! I'm Captain Kirk!
You know, I was thinking, like, okay, some of the bad qualities of William Shatner, right? Like, it's like he doesn't give a shit about other people or whatever. A little delayed. Didn't make it that time. Like his personality quirks, right? That most people say are like him being arrogant and all this kind of bullshit and an asshole or whatever. Well, I was... unless you add the... Okay, if you subtract the whole years thing, right? I'm technically born 2 days before him without the year in being involved. So would I have those personality traits if it's like a astrological thing? Because, you know, they always say, like, you know, if you're this, you have these personality traits or something, you know.
No, because stars and planets don't determine your personality. That's just a bunch of a bunch of bullshit.
Bunch of hooey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to all you horoscope believers out there, but
get shit on.
Get shit on, says Judas. Sorry, but get shit on. I love it. That was well timed. Thank you, Judas. That was great. Sorry to all you suckers out there, but get shit on. Gary. Judas, are you still playing Minecraft, or have you stopped that? That's a bad habit.
How about new? You crazy Dutch bastard.
Minecraft anymore. All right, let's give this a test run. How do I do this? I click this button, and then
Judas D. Cott says, "I haven't gone back."
Haven't gone back. I'd really like to play with you on there, on the crossover stuff. If I could ever get that damn hotbar thing situated, because the hotbar on here doesn't work too well with our mouse scrolling, like going across and scrolling to things and whatnot. It does on the Java version, but not on the not on that version. Gary. Sam, you missed it. Yesterday, random TFO was the one where you saved Dr. Beverly Crusher. And Gary was the Inquisitor. So it was Gary and Gary fighting along side by side.
Gary and Gary fighting side by side.
That's right. Terran Gary, who's a Klingon, the Inquisitor, which I don't think can actually happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. T'Pol was in the Federation. Well, the Terran version of the Federation when she was on Enterprise. So I guess it's possible. But the Federation is supposed to be like against all aliens or non-humans or some shit like that in the Terran universe. So you don't really, you see more humans than you do like alien races, because the alien races like are servants and bullshit and enslaved or something like that. Kind of like in Picard season 2, you know, like where all the aliens are like nearly dead or some shit.
Old saucer.
Old Rust.
Just Call Me Core is now live, streaming Final Fantasy XIV Online, finishing Crystal Tower series, and more.
It's all part of his rock and roll fuckacy.
Everyone come check me out and look at the sweet masking I did on my in-game chat.
Did you
Very legible.
Masticate it?
Yep. I'm a big old masticator.
The masticator. He can take a piss. He can take a piss.
The bots have returned.
Tell him, baby. Tell him, baby. Did you like it like this? Tell him. Tell him. Tell him. Watch it now. Work. Come on, work it on, baby. Ooh, 22. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, because ain't is a word. It ain't not. Intriguing. 1998.
Click that. Select the lane, confirm. Oh wow, I'm big rich. 1,000 gil.
Big and rich.
Now I gotta click this.
You know.
Oh wow, 108 gil. Oh, I'm big rich.
You know, Big and Rich, the musicians, right? They had that "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy" song. That got turned into like a stage performance that involves a bunch of gay guys or whatever slapping each other's ass. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Big and rich. big. What? Okay, what the hell? Why am I getting attacked by my own guy here?
Demon brick. Cactar
Did
cutting.
you make a free playable Federation Klingon 2?
Who? What?
Free playable Federation Klingon 2.
Where do you see that at?
Somebody asking me in game.
Oh. You should say no. I created a.
No, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say niet. Of course, I can't spell it out right because I don't know if Russian is actually on here. But that's how it looks in Russian. The N is a capital H for N. Cyrillic, I think is the name of that. I tried to study that at one time because since I have a cousin that's half Ukrainian. Thanks to my preacher of an uncle, was cheating on his wife when he was over there doing missionary work. He said, "What? A preacher cheating on his wife? Missionary work? The gospel? What, huh?" Yeah.
He was just practicing the missionary position.
That's right. He was on a mission from God. He was getting his things together.
Now we gotta go up the stairs and around the corner to the mystic place of doom.
Doom. I've also got a cousin in Texas that doesn't know we all exist either.
That's right, all his exes stay in Texas.
That's right. I think it was after that time he cheated on his wife, she finally divorced him. You know, since...
Finally, you know.
Yeah. But I had always thought if I were to meet, you know, this half cousin from the Ukraine or whatever that, or I guess it'd be a complete cousin. I don't know, unless she's like just a torso. But that's not funny. But, okay. I thought, you know, maybe she doesn't speak English, learn some Ukrainian, Russian type language from over there. And so I learned Yasashla Suma, which is the TATU tattoo group. Lena Katina, you know. All the things she said, but Russian. Yeah. So I thought, you know, if I learned that, then you know, that'll help me, whatever. And I was like, okay, learning the song didn't help. Maybe if I watch Boris on YouTube, you know, because they always say, and he said it himself on there, the best way to learn another language is to learn the swear words first. Because if you learn the swear words, you can unlock the whole thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I still haven't learned a damn thing. But I know the swear words. You know, that's a few of the swear words. There's blien or bellion. Suka.
Now I run a PG stream here now. No Russian cuss words.
No Russian cuss words.
Yeah, only American cuss words like shit and fuck.
None of those foreign words. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't no commies here. Oh no, I killed all of them. Oh wait, I found a monster.
It's fun to use the words when I'm at work and I actually want to say a swear word. I just go, bliet! You're like, what? Huh. That was funny sounding. I was like, yeah. I just said fuck. I said un momento por favor the other day to somebody and they were like, what? I said 1 minute please. Like, oh, why didn't you say that? I said I did.
Yata! What?
Yata!
I did it. So why do you shout out Yatta for? I did it!
That could be like a dude, where's your car moment.
I don't
What does
get
mine
it.
say?
You did it, but what does Yatta mean? I did it!
I did it!
The only reason I know that is from an episode of Heroes.
Heroes. Did Heroes say it in Heroes?
Yep.
The only reason I know is because of Street Fighter 2.
He was like, Yatta! And under the captions, under it said, I did it.
I did it! Yeah, that when it was stopping the clock, right? When he got so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like the only one that believed in all, like, that he had a power, and everyone was like, nah, blah, 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 whatever you can. You know. No, I can watch. My nose is bleeding. Shit!
No, someone's trying to take my fun away from me.
He's trying to take your phone.
I'm over here waiting for this cue to pop, and some dude following me around, killing
fun
the enemies
backwards
I'm
is enough.
killing.
So tell him to have enough. You had enough.
Yeah.
Your fun.
Yeah, I had enough. You're fun.
Enough your fun. Nifjafen. Nifjafjafjafjaf. Ja sashla suma. Ja sashla suma. Mienish steona. Mienish neona. Mnie ponostowiet absolutno serios. Sytuacja sos.Espijanie поймут, откуда взялась. Почему на тебя повелась. It's just better whenever you hear them singing it. Выключая совет, Яков.
Exactly.
The hell was that hog doing? What the hell's going on around here? And then like the actual ones in English is like, I'm in serious shit. I feel totally lost. If I'm asking for help, it's only because being with you has opened my eyes. Could I ever believe such a perfect surprise? I keep asking myself, wondering how I keep closing my eyes, but I can't bring it out. To find a place where it's just you and me, nobody else, so we can be free. Nobody else, so we can be free.
5-minute queue turns into a 7-minute queue, turns into a 9-minute queue.
Turns into a trip to the toilet.
Gonna turn into a 20-minute queue here in a minute.
Trip to the toilet.
It might turn into a trip to the toilet. Knowing my luck, I'll go to the bathroom and the queue will pop, and I'm like, I missed my queue. At that point, I got to start all over again.
Dun, 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 till the one day when the lady met this fellow, and he blew a lot of chunks in when he was alone.
I don't think so. Not how that goes at all.
Brady Bunch. Now, Peter, you get in there and you apologize to Jan. But, Dad, she is a bitch. Well, I know, son, but you have to apologize. Marcia. I found it kind of interesting whenever they had bought the house that was used for exteriors of the show back then. But somebody had bought it, or I don't know how the hell they got it. But they were renovating the house inside to make it look just like the studio house, because it wasn't like that at all on the inside. And they had all of them up there, like, interviewing all 6 of the quote-unquote kids, now that they're adults. And whenever the woman that played Jan would start talking, she'd get interrupted by the one that played Marcia. And I'm like, dude, it was a real thing, wasn't it? It's like she would say something and she would go, no, actually it was this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, because she's just like, go to a little corner. I'm thinking, damn, it was real. The dude that played Bobby, he's like, looks older than the rest of them because he had a habit. He
had a habit.
Yeah. One that played, what was the youngest one's name? Shit. Damn it. Cindy. She had a really bad habit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was in jail a lot. And drugs.
I bet.
Yeah. So she's like not too good either, you know. There, and of course the two oldest ones are like the ones that looked like, you know, still looked about the same because you know they're always like the older ones. And I don't know what they ever did with that house.
They sold it on the black market. It's a crack house now.
It's a crack house. The
Yep.
Brady Bunch. Some guy named Mike moved in and with 3 boys. And then he met someone named Carol. She had 3 girls of her own.
Actually, she didn't. There are 3 girls of someone else's. She kidnapped them.
She kidnapped him and forced him into her own home. Till the one day when this man met this lady, and he threw her in the backseat of the car, took her home, strapped her in the basement, started making kids right then and there. Dun, dun, dun. That this group could somehow form a family. Bitch! That's the way they all became a bunch of drunks. A bunch of drunks. A bunch of drunks.
They weren't a bunch of drunks. They were a perfect, happy little family.
That's right. Alice wasn't the ringleader, too. She's the one that would set up all the illegal drug drops and stuff in the planes. Mike.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Mike would fake his architectural things so that he can make invisible fake walls or whatever like that at people's houses where they'd store their stashes. He'd get a second set of keys made, and he'd have the kids run in there and grab the stuff out of the holes in the walls that he made. He had a nice little business going on. Yeah.
Really? One tank?
And then Peter's voice changing it screwed.
Why is there always one person who doesn't want to frickin' hit the commence button? Probably because they went to the bathroom to go shit and missed their cue timer.
That's right. It happens. Shit happens. Then the board came.
A member had this withdrawn or failed to join the duty. Let's try it again.
Let's do it live. Dial right in, we'll do it live. Dial right it. Dial.
One healer, one tank.
One
there we go.
One tank. One healer, one tank.
Flash. First time.
Jigglypuff.
Please be gentle.
It is first time to go to bathroom.
You can't read it on my stream because it's all blurry and stuff.
Damn it. What in the hell, Bobby?
This music sounds so good. Brow. Brow.
Banana.
I don't even know how loud it is compared to... Probably could barely hear that shit in my stream.
I can't hear anything at all from your end.
Yeah, because...
I have
leveling food check.
You're leveling your food?
Alliance B. I don't know what that means for me, but...
Fuck everybody else. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's the way they became the Brady.
You didn't have to heal me. I didn't take no damage, but okay, thanks.
Didn't have to heal you. Did not have to hurt you.
Here we go. Oh, that's big. Oh, I got hit.
Oh, you did you?
Not a two-headed dragon. Summon Titan, go!
In this trouble, you know.
Go, Gadget! Destroyer! Go Gadget, Garuda! Winged warrior of... Oh, that's gonna hurt.